Hello guys,
welcome to our YouTube channel.
We are the
Abraham. Okay guys, so this afternoon we are having a brief couch conversation with you guys. So that's why we're seated like this, but just in a free way. And also you notice that our background have been different. Yeah, so we're currently on our own. We're currently in Akure.
A lot of traveling.
Yeah, like our second home. Okay babe, so what are we talking about today?
Okay, so we are reviewing current issues and we're seeing how they apply to us, our daily living, and the practical lessons that we can glean from these current issues. Particularly in this video now with respect to migration and what you call Japa. So, you remember that series, eh? We saw a series some
time
ago.
It's a series on Showmax, African Magic series.
Is it an African Magic?
Yeah, it's an African Magic series. It's called Japa. It's very interesting, guys. So we're doing free advertisement for AMBC. They should better come and...
But I mean, we should also advertise. I mean, I wrote a book that is in fact...
Yeah, if my husband
also
has
thought they adopted...
Honestly,
they adapted the story from my book, The Trials of Maclean.
Yeah, my husband has a book on it's on
yeah, The Trials of, okay, yeah, it's on like, what's it now?
Okada Books.
Okada Books.
Yes, Okada Books. So you can search Trials of Maclean. Yeah, it's a very interesting book. I mean, very interesting.
Wow.
Alright.
Okay, so babe, there's been a lot going on. There's been a lot of redeployment, not say redeployment, but because of the issues in Ukraine, a lot of people have had to, return back
to the country,
to Nigeria. In Russia too, those who can return are trying to return back, and the crisis has been such that people want to go back to their location. How does this, does it mean that, why don't they just stay there, and weather the storm with the people that they are with?
Okay guys, we must come to the understanding that we cannot run from our home forever. Particularly when the basis for which we are, particularly when we are practically running away. It's not just like because we feel like living in those other places. We're practically running away. Particularly as regards the basis for which we are running. You see, bad governance, all of those things. We cannot run forever. Now, see what is currently happening with the war between Russia and Ukraine. Nigerians in Ukraine are returning home because everybody wants to return to safety. Nobody wants to die in a war in a foreign land. Do you understand? So I think that the time would have to come where we have to come to the point where we realize that we have to do what we have to do to make our country work. Like, Japa is only a temporary. Now, if you're watching from outside the country, the term Japa is like an unregistered word that Nigeria used for migration out of the country. So Japa is only a temporary solution to a problem that has remained with us, and it will not solve that problem unless we come head on with the problem. So just imagine now that the same way there's war in Russia and Ukraine, remember 2020 or 2019, the South Africa xenophobia,
xenophobia.
What was it called? Xenophobia. Some Nigerians still had to return to Nigeria for the meantime. So
the word return service mild. Flee.
Okay, flee or run to Nigeria for the meantime before the whole issue went down. So a whole lot of things. So just imagine that what is happening between Russia and Ukraine, God forbid. What if it's happening in Canada? What if it's happening in the UK? What if it's happening in the US? What if it's happening in Japan or China? These are countries where a lot of Nigerians currently reside. So imagine what if it's happening there. So let the basis for our leaving the country not be because we want to Japa. the time has come for us to let's sit down and really face the problem of the nation. Let's come together and try to see how our country will be good, because if we keep running away and those other countries we are running to have problems, you have no choice but to return.
There's no place like home there.
Okay, babe, over to you.
I remember seeing one skit. Whether it was a skit or real life stuff, I didn't know. I saw it on some days ago on social media, and this guy sent a message to his gas vendor. I was trying to ask. Oh, you saw it too?
No.
And I was asking the gas vendor that, look, I want to buy gas, so but I hope your own price has not increased, because the way things are in Nigeria now, we don't understand that price have increased. I said, look, you and all of you that are increasing price, that's your problem. Me, I've left Nigeria for you. That's the gas vendor. So I've left Nigeria for you guys. I'm not here again. And it almost feels like we're living, we're running away from
Our responsibility.
Yeah, it does. Because, I mean, how much longer? If, and as it stands, a lot of youth, I'm not saying it's wrong to Japa. Now the problem, I'm just saying the motive behind
the motive. It's not wrong to desire to want to live in other countries.
The motive behind it, running away. What will we live for? A lot of youths feel like if they leave this country and escape to other places where conditions are really, so-called greener pastures, where conditions are really good, and they won't have to participate in
the suffering.
Well, temporarily that seems true, but you're gonna have children tomorrow. Your family members, you probably left them here. Even if you become wealthy and you pack your family members over to where you are to enjoy with you, you still have Nigeria.
The day something happens
where you are,
and you have to run, just where like currently.
Yeah. Where would you want to? So these are issues that we're addressing. As much as the temporary solution to escaping from the suffering is going to a greener pasture, what happens when that green pastures become dry?
You realize that in the Bible, the story of Nehemiah and the children of Israel, when Nehemiah, cried to God that he was to build the ruins of Jerusalem, and the king granted him permission. Do you know that they returned to Jerusalem in the broken walls? That was where they returned to. That was where they lived, spending the time. They did they raised the wall and built the temple and everything. So what am I saying? I hope that the time will not come when we'll have to return, but we are returning to broken walls.
That's it's a big deal, but it's because it's not, an issue that is presently maybe pressing, or because it's not. It is pressing, but because it's not within sight now, we feel like, look, damn Nigeria, I'm going to where I can make it. The honest truth, we have lots of issues in Nigeria, but I still feel like they can be resolved. One way, for instance, that they can be resolved is the forthcoming elections next year. Within a year's time, forthcoming elections. Making informed choices, making sensible choices. Because I have to be honest, some of the choices that people are making in respect to that elections are not even sensible.
Absolutely unreasonable.
And I wonder how these people are learned, how they are educated, but they are making this kind of decisions. Is it because of bigotry or religious issues or what? So those kind of decisions making. Now look, we are not, we, by the grace of God, we get opportunities. We want to go study, we want to learn, we want to. I've always said that, look, I'm looking forward to be exposed.
Yeah.
My major aim for traveling out is to get exposed, to see how things are done better, in a way that you can bring those perspectives and adapt them to your environment, your home. So those are major things. A lot of Nigerians use opportunities, study opportunities to disappear.
Yeah.
And after that, it's not, in fact, it's the in thing now, it's what's happening. So that, we're just trying to tell you that, look, present issues, the war, the ongoing war has shown us that there is no place.
Run away from our home forever.
No place like home.
Asha's song says there's fire on the mountain, and there is fire on the mountain, Nobody seems to be under. You see, the other part of the song says, one day the river will overflow, and there'll be nowhere for us to go. Then we will run, thinking we got a fire. You get? So there's fire on the mountain, and then we run away from the mountain. We run to the valley place, right? And then one day now, the river now overflows, so we can no longer stay in the valley. The mountain is the only option for us, but by the time we look up to the mountain, there's fire burning there too. So I really pray that our situation in the nation would not have to get to that. But for it not to get to that, each and every one of us must really come together and see that, in as much as migrating out of Nigeria is a temporary solution, it would not be a permanent solution forever. So a time would come when each of us will have to agree and say we are going to make this country work and do whatever it is going to take to make it work. We will reach a point where we have to be very resolute about it, and when we become very resolute and there's no way, it's see that adage, it says when the goat has been pushed to the wall, it will turn over to the person that is pursuing it. So when we have been pushed to the wall and we feel that there's no longer a way out, we will definitely find a solution. But for as long as we think that Japa, migrating is a better solution all the time, I really pray that we will not return to a country that has broken ruins. I think.
Yeah, for the most part.
I think we're done. Alright guys, we hope that you would have a retrospect about what we discussed here, and you can also relate it with your colleagues, family, friends, everywhere. You never can tell. Truth can start from one person and then evolve around, and then it becomes a drive in a nation to make things better. So please share this video. You liked it, it's informative. Like the video too. Drop your comments, your questions. Let's relate.
We said everything.
Guys, so well done. Alright guys, so we'll come your way again.
We are the Abraham.